You've disappeared though. You've completely just disappeared, Jay. You were there before, but you have now disappeared. Is your camera on?
Not on.
Is it on?
Not on my screen.
Oh no, it was working fine until now. Literally just went to go streaming and your thing is just completely gone.
What's going on?
Oh, I've got you back. Okay, you're back. Right, there. Oh, that's perfect. Alright,
It's not on at all.
Oh no, it's on now. It's on now.
Okay, cool. Right, ready, set.
Oh, and the sound's really good as well, I think. Right, in a very dodgy roundabout way. Hello, Starfish fans. Welcome to Larvae Livestream number 5. Plenty to catch up on, I think. But first of all, how you doing, Joe? Ah, perfect timing.
What?
I said, how you doing?
What's going on?
How are you doing?
Huh?
Oh my god, can you not hear me?
Oh, fucking hell. No.
Ask the man 3 times.
No, we always... yeah, I'm brilliant. It's been a bit boring though. We've not been doing many gigs. There's been a big, break as with... I think we've had, a whole month without a gig.
Yeah.
That's a long time.
14th of June was our last one.
But, you know, we can talk about how things have been in between that, as the band. Why don't we? You know, and stuff we've got planned also, because me and you were going to do Coningsby to see the massive balaclava and the Battle of the Bands. So, you know, and now Disconnected are there as well. So
Yeah.
which we've seen before briefly. So, you know, that'll be great to see again. Yeah, I'm probably looking forward to that. Yeah. I don't know if we did speak about the Eagle.
To be completely honest, I think some people may be wondering why, if you look in the Larvae Livestream playlist on our channel, you may be wondering why number 4 is missing. Number 4 took place on my birthday, and after the live stream we have decided to take it down and decided it was not what's the word, not very professional. Some of the content was not top quality, so we decided to retract that, and that will be not seeing the light of day again. So it did happen, we didn't miss one, but it's not for public viewing. We have removed that, and you get us today instead.
Yeah, there's a lot of drinking involved, so...
There was,
yes.
Yes.
A lot of that going on. We had 7 people all around us that night. It weren't just us, it was everyone.
There was,
loads of our mates. So, yeah. I'm kind of glad it got removed. It might have been a bit embarrassing.
I don't think it was the best for viewing. Let's be completely honest. I don't think it was the most suitable.
It was just basically the whole us get talk. Yeah, but it's like that. So, and we didn't actually get. Although we did actually, because you know the giveaway, we actually nicked out who the winners were.
We did, and that's a good point. We should make a point of that. So we've got to try and catch up on 2 months worth in this stream, really. I will make an apology first off for my camera quality. There's nothing I can do. I don't know why it keeps flickering like it does. I might try dropping the quality whilst we're talking, but I'm not sure why it's so flickery. But anyway, yes, to catch up for the last 2 months, so we started off by doing the giveaway, my birthday giveaway. and the winners were all announced, and but 2 out of 3 have received their prizes. That's pretty bad going, but the winner of the signed CD will be receiving that on Saturday, actually hand delivered by both me and Joe. Now that Joe's coming with, because this is a person who is also playing in one of the bands for Battle of the Bands on Saturday. So quite excited to be able to first of all be part of that. Anyway, you know, I'm hosting. Quite pleased, quite looking forward to seeing a lot of the talent about. But a big shout out to Thomas Johnson, who will be performing with his band and will be receiving his signed CD. Just to give a shout out to the people who also won. Conrad Manson won the Sacred Starfish logo patch, and Katie Houston won the tour T-shirt. So that was your winners from the giveaway. I know 2 out of 3 have received and are happy with what they've got, and hopefully that'll be 3 for 3 on Saturday.
Yeah, I feel like that's going to be the highlight of his gig. Like us
Yeah.
delivering his prize.
Yeah, we always
like,
love
yeah,
that.
fuck the gig. Like, no, cancel the gig. This is more important.
Yeah, the most important part will be handing it to him. I'm really looking forward to seeing his band perform, and all the other bands for that matter. I think we've got 8 bands, 10 bands, something along those lines, all performing. That's in Coningsby, run by We Are Not That Kind Of, who obviously, as you probably know by now, we do work with relatively closely and have performed on a couple of their events and similar. So yeah, very pleased to be helping them out once again. Sorry, I'm just trying to deal with my camera at the same time here.
Oh, no.
So if you want to just
It's
waffle
bad
on
enough
though.
Bad enough that I can't see it. I can only see myself.
Oh, of course, I forget. Yeah, we've got a very dodgy setup tonight. So as it stands,
We're slightly rushed it, we're a bit short on time. So,
yeah, just a tad.
but it is what it is. We go with it.
So as it stands, Joe can't see me. I can see him, and his audio is a little bit dodgy, and my camera's dodgy. So, welcome to Larvae live streams. That's all I can say, really.
Yeah, I get it. Oh well.
My camera's just completely
It's
disappeared.
weird though when we're all together for the first time.
Yeah.
But obviously.
Yeah.
But we have to do it like this now. We have to do it really and on call.
This seems to work better, to be completely honest. This does seem to work better, considering the one time we've done it not. We had to remove it.
Yeah.
So let's go back to a whole month ago, or 2 months ago. So the last Larvae live stream, I believe, if I just get it up on here, it was the 28th of May. So it was just before we played Olivia's.
Really?
Yeah. Then we did one in June, of course, remember? So we did one at the end of May, and then I think we missed a week due to having a... Oh yeah, we had that conference call with Cullen, so we had to postpone it by a week. So we did it at the end of May, but we haven't had one since the end of May. So we can catch up on quite a lot of information.
Oh my god.
I mean, I know these are meant to be an hour, but if it overruns today, I'm not too upset by it, because we've basically got to catch up the last 2 streams. So if we end up doing like an hour and a half, this will be an extra special one-off stream.
Wow. Yeah.
So
that is mad. Yeah. Let's talk about.
Let's take it all the way back to 2-3 days after the last Larvae live stream, when we played Olivia's.
We did what?
When we played Olivia's in Skegness.
Yeah. Well, yeah, the whole gig, really. Well, what did we have on it? So, obviously, we had ourselves. We also had Eddie Tasker's band. I'd say they were the highlights. We also had the solo artist, Mark Lee, who's quite a good guy, actually. I quite like the bloke.
Yeah, big shout out to Mark Leaf.
And Burning Face, who my dad is a massive fan of now.
This is what we like to hear. We're building communities with our gigs. So this was our first major event, really, as a band. So I set it up. Originally, it was actually just going to be us and the Taskers. But then, after chatting to the venue and stuff, we kind of decided let's make a bit of a thing of this. And we were fortunate enough to be blessed by the presence of Mark Leaf and Burning Face to complete the lineup. And what an event it was. I mean, take away our performance for a second. Look at the first 3 bands that performed. I mean, we were lucky enough to headline this event. But look at the first 3. I mean, Mark Leaf delivered a great set, had a good few people in. The Taskers came on, another great set, lots of people in. And then Burning Face completely just flipped the entire event on its head, because it was relatively sort of soft until then. We had a bit of electro punk with Mark Leaf, a bit of like alt rock, indie rock with the Taskers, and then Burning Face came out of nowhere with some proper like classic power metal, which was completely different to what the rest of the bands were doing. But it really made for a good event, and people seemed to really get into it. I was really blown away by the reception that everyone was getting.
Exactly, and I feel like even though it was a sort of smallish venue, we got loads of people who we knew as well. It was, I think the place was packed for that night. I think it was great.
It was, yeah, and it was. Yeah, it was nice to have founding member Chris Wilson come and join us for a show as well. It's the first time he's come to see the band live since his departure. So really nice to see him be able to come down and see us as well and support us. And fair amount of other people that we know and friends and family. It was quite a nice little intimate gig, really. Of course, I think we've spoken about this publicly on the page, on our Facebook page. Our set wasn't the best, we'll be completely honest. As gigs go for us, it wasn't our best set. I think we can all be honest about that. We didn't have the best of times out, but we've worked on that since, and obviously we will get to it. But we've done gigs since then that have gone a lot better. But our particular set, let's be honest, Joe, it wasn't great, was it?
No. No. I would say it definitely wasn't like one gig that I would remember. Like, I kind of like that one. I liked it because it was fun before we went on, because we had a great time. But when it went on, there's a lot of stress, a lot of thinking we need to do so much better, and so much anger and aggression around it, and it weren't good. But I think I'll still stand by it. Like the start was horrible, but I think like the last with the songs there, it was okay. But that, as the set, the whole. But,
yeah, I'm with you there. I think we grew into it towards the end.
I mean, I think I came out open with I'll still stand by it, but still, I don't want to put it off that much. After the gig, it was sort of like, oh, is this like what it's always going to be like for us? But then, as gigs went on, it was sort of like thinking to myself, we'll be better next. And I'd say we have. I wouldn't say we've got worse at all.
No.
We've got better.
Yeah, I'm fully with you there. I think as it's gone on, we've got a lot better. It was one of those. We were last band on, and it was a great night, and things just didn't necessarily go to plan, and we had a few technical issues as well, which didn't help. But all in all, it was still a great gig. The venue were really welcoming. Was very nice. Nice to get the people down that we did, and chat the way we did. And if nothing else, if we take away our set, the actual gig itself, just those other 3 bands was nice to watch. So. I personally got quite a nice sense of satisfaction out of it, watching an event that I've put on myself, watching that actually happen, and seeing all these bands do so well and sound so good with the sound check. So there's a lot of positives to take from it. We definitely don't look at it as only a negative thing. I definitely look back on that gig as a positive. It's just our set wasn't its best, but I think towards the end we really we've really leveled it up. Especially the last song we did. I thought the last song we did was probably the best one we did, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I agree. It's sort of. I think it was. It was just one of them days where, you know, sometimes it goes wrong. Unfortunately, it was like that. During the day, it was out of our control to do.
Your mic's cutting out a lot, Joe.
That guy sort of. But, you know, we just sort of have to put it behind us. I think, not forget about it, but also have it in the back of our mind. Be like, okay, let's just focus. You know, we'll know that we can do better than we can, but don't let it like put us down, because I don't let it put us down at all. You know, I just say it happened and we just have to move past it. You know.
Yeah, I'm fully with you. So let's take a little skip past that point then. So 31st of May, we then enter June. I'm going to go through gigs first, and if there's anything like behind the scenes that we want to chat about, we can go to that after. I'm just trying to remember in my head the gigs. So fast forward 2 weeks, on the 13th of June, we travel down to Lincoln for our first Lincoln show.
Yeah.
I believe the event was called Conviction. That was another event put on by Not That Kind Of, partnered with Yellow Belly Records. We do a lot of partnering with both of those. So very nice to perform on one of their events. And it was the opening event for this new sort of monthly rock and metal gigs. So and we got to open the whole thing. So it was quite a nice honour for us. First time we played on a proper stage with a proper like sound setup, and it was for us. It was a massive step up stage wise, really.
Our first time that we've ever performed on a proper stage, mate. I'm trying to think, because we've played on things where it's like a step up, like, you know, where it's a step, but on an actual stage, I think that's the first time we've ever really done it.
Yeah, you're not wrong. It's the first time we've played on a proper actual stage, and it was quite high up. In fairness, it was, you know, it was tall enough that I was only just able to climb up and off it, because of course because I had the chance to play on a proper stage, I did utilise it, and I'm sure you remember during a couple of the songs mid solo I would jump off the stage and run around and stuff. Climbing back on the stage was not that easy because I forgot how tall it was, so that was a bit of a faff. But
I enjoyed it. I thought it was a new experience for us as a new up and coming back, because, you know, at the end of the day, we are going to perform on like stages and bigger events, and I think that's the biggest event we've ever performed at. You know, obviously it weren't just us, there was 3 more bands there, but I thought it was good, and the people there were amazing. You know, the other bands really helped us out and stuff. I think we used some of their equipment, and, you know, we also let them use ours. So it was a great thing, and it's sort of getting out there and getting to know the right people with the music industry.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, I thought it was alright. I enjoyed it, and I also enjoyed the experience of it as well.
And just to give a mention to those 3 bands that you mentioned we played with, so they would be, following straight after us, we had Concrete Badger, who are, personally, I'm big fans of. I mean, I've been following pretty much since their formation, and I've been to nearly every one of their gigs. So just them alone on the bill, to be able to play alongside them, for me was a milestone. It was kind of like we're actually going somewhere now. You know, when there's a band that you've been watching for a good year, 2 years, been following halfway around the countryside to watch, and then you're able to actually stand on stage with them, that for me was quite a nice moment. So I was really pleased to play with them, and I hope it's not the last time. That's for sure. They're great guys.
No, they're brilliant. And it was the first time meeting me. And when we met them, the bassist, I'm gonna forget his name. So
Jay.
Jay. When he met me, I was like, like put my hand out. Like, nah, come here, give me a hug and that. There's such forming people. The you know, brilliant guys. Brilliant.
Absolutely, yeah, really nice guys. Really, really glad to, even off the stage, really, really, I hope to say good friends of ours.
Yeah.
Really like them. And then following them, Church of Lies came on for their set. Out of all four on the lineup, well, three if you don't include us, they were the one band I'd heard of but I hadn't seen before. So I was not sure what I was expecting. So I was looking forward to seeing them, and I was made a fan. It was good headbanging music at the end of the day, so I was able to just have a good time, let my hair down if you like, and enjoy that. And they had some nice Portuguese fan, which was good. So they put on a decent show, and then finished off with Reversing Destiny, a band that I have seen before. Now this time they were without their lead singer, which at the time they said it, we thought that's interesting. How are you going to perform without a singer? But you wouldn't have known they were missing a singer. Without no offence to Will in any way, but you wouldn't have known that if you hadn't seen the band before, you wouldn't know that they had a lead singer. They were really really on it, and they shared the vocal duties between them so that it worked. The drummer, I'm still perplexed by how he even plays that long. The way he plays and the rhythms he plays. I don't know how he does it. Honestly, I was in awe of him, and I told him that after the gig. So they were insane. So it was a good lineup, really.
Oh no, it was great, and I think it was great for the people who came to watch it as well, because how long did it go on for? A couple of hours.
Yeah, good few hours. Good sort of. I mean, everyone did a 45, really, didn't they?
Yeah, so near enough.
So 3 hours of music.
Yeah, so I think it went down well. The hot,
Yeah.
Yeah, it was great. It was great, and it was great how it were the bands that they picked. I thought that was good.
Before we move on from the Lincoln gig at the Imp, I would like to also mention that it was at the Lincoln Imp that we were able to do our EP launch. For anyone who is watching this perhaps who doesn't know yet, even though it's plastered all over our social media, so you're slacking. But we have released a new EP on Yellow Belly Records, which I'm really excited about. It's called Polished Turds, and it's basically a reworking of the original tracks from the first and the second album, completely turd polished, if you will, by Cullen at Yellow Belly Records, and packaged in these beautiful CD cases. Now I have to show you these live on stream. I know it won't come up great, and I know, Joe, you can't even see what I'm doing right now. But right now I'm holding up the Toilet CD, and as we open it, we simply open the toilet. If I take the disc out for a second, this whole section is a little wieldy, but still. So we open the toilet, as you can see in this case here, and even the back is even themed with being the floor of the toilet, which is so cool. And the disc, if I can get a good close up of it, you can't see it that well on my camera, but it's a toilet flush, and we've even got the little starfish guy on here. Really great attention to detail. Massive shout out once again to Cullen at Yellow Belly Records, because we gave no input whatsoever for this artwork. We originally were asked about sort of artwork a little bit, and we were talking a little bit about using a band photo or something, and out of nowhere I just get shown this. This has just been produced completely off of his own back, so massive shout out to him for the creativity. And we did launch this on the 13th of June. I'm pleased to announce that the two I currently hold in my hands are our last two remaining copies of that 10. So, Joe, I've just seen Joe's face there as I've announced this. Yeah, that's right, we have 2 copies left. It's not going to be long before we're knocking on his door to print some more copies, actually.
Oh, that's good. In business. That's Oh, that's brilliant. That's great. That's the first time.
I thought I'd let you have a little, have your opinion on it. Obviously, this is now the first I mean, we've got you on obviously the second album, you know, Painful Number 2, on a couple of backing vocals, but this is the first time you're, I believe, officially credited in an actual CD. Because if you read the actual booklet, your name is actually on here, and you are in fact credited for additional noises, specifically.
Yeah, when I actually got one of the EPs, I was proper like looking inside it and reading everything was all professionally done, and even on like little print of the CD, you can see our names about. And, yeah, the leaflet, and it had all our names on it, and it's like, you know, I proper love that. It was great.
It's a proper sense of achievement, isn't it? Well, when we sat here, we can look at this now.
Exactly, you know, we can, and you know, there's people out there now who have this EP, and you know, both of our names are actually on it for doing the music on it. I mean, obviously, pull it out to them, we mixed it, and I tell you what, there's a massive difference. You listen to the original and then the mastered of the massive difference.
Absolutely. Absolutely, he has completely revamped these almost lifeless originals, and proper put some life into them, and they sound so good now. We're really pleased to be able to. I mean, I'll be completely honest. I'm happy to admit that I have probably listened to this EP more times than I should have. When I'm driving in my car on the way to band practice or whatever, it is a staple. It stays in my car, and most of my journeys I listen to it. I'm not ashamed to say that I listen to my own music because it's good. It's so good, and the way the EP sounds it's such a nice sound out of it. You know, I can't wait for future workings with Yellow Belly Records.
Oh no, it'll be ace, honestly. And yeah, when we're going down to the list, alright, we got to, because I actually don't have the. I would get it, but then again, I want you know, the fans to have it as well. So it's not just all about that, but we'll definitely listen to it. Honestly, yeah, that'll be great.
Definitely.
So, you know, I listened to a few of the tracks, but not all of them.
Yeah, they've definitely got a bit more life now.
Oh yeah.
So to quickly move on, the day after this EP launch at the Lincoln Imp on Conviction, we then took a trundle down to my hometown, Mablethorpe, for our first gig in Mablethorpe, which was quite nice. It was almost like a homecoming for me, and we played the Eagle's Nest.
Yes.
That was that was a night. Now that was a night. There's a lot we can talk about from here, is there not?
We can talk about this gig for hours. What a night! Not even away from the music. What a night for all three of us.
Absolutely.
Mind blowing. Like, you know, we don't often, like, you know, if we're doing a gig, we always have to like get home the same day and stuff like that. But you know, obviously, we stayed in Mablethorpe because
because why not?
Yeah, honestly, it was so good, and we all three of us just let ourselves go, and we had the best time. You know,
it was a good night.
I don't often go to Mablethorpe, but when I do, I absolutely love it. It's a great town as well, especially like on the Friday or a week. There's so much. This seems to me there's so much going on. It was a great night. We actually did 2 sets there at the people, and the people there, I would say, are the best people I've ever met with doing gigs at venues, because the welcoming was superb. It was brilliant.
Yeah, we were made to feel very at home, weren't we? From the second we entered that building, we were made to feel like we were massively wanted there, and you know they're happy to talk to us, and you know, really appreciative of what we're doing, and helped us out where needed. You know, they were really nice guys. Big shout out to Crispy Bacon and Ruben, the 2 guys there that helped us out with everything. Yeah, that was insane. I mean, we got there probably a good couple of hours before our set, I'd say.
yeah, we normally get there quite early before a gig, but when we did get there, they recognised us straight away, didn't they?
You walked into the bar and instantly they clocked who we were. Literally, like I say, the second we walked through the door, we were made so welcome, and I literally mean that. From the second I opened that door, they knew who we were, what we were there for, and they were starting to show us, that they actually gave. I can't remember if you were there or not, but they actually gave. I think that you were there. They gave us quite a nice tour of the entire building, and they were talking us through, what's going on in each room and what their plans are and what the history is of it. They really helped us to understand the building as well as just kind of just chucking us in a room, telling us to do our own thing. They completely welcomed us and showed us round. It was really nice atmosphere. I think it made us feel right at home before the actual gig, which probably helped the set, I think, massively. We need more venues to be sort of like that, really.
It massively helped the set because we definitely felt at home. We didn't feel uncomfortable at all, and we thought we could crack on, do what we wanted. We've made some new friends there and stuff. So and they're so helpful as well, and made sure that we were great. They wanted to look after us, which just felt so good.
Absolutely.
And we want that a lot because it helps with people get or stuff like that. Or if it's like one of them days. But if you have that with a venue, it's like that. It's so good. It makes you feel so good, and it makes you want to go back.
Definitely.
Yeah, well, we will. Oh, we are.
I was going to say, I will lead into that a bit later, but let's start on our first set. So we come out for set one. We clearly hadn't advertised it horrendously well. We didn't get a huge amount of people in. But, saying that, the people we still had in were quite happy. We still sold some merch and similar. We delivered our first set. I personally thought it was one of the best sets we've ever done as a band. I thought everything... because we had some new equipment sort of in the week prior, we didn't have too much chance to test it out in Lincoln. But obviously Cullen and Concrete Badger with their amps, and they got the sound sorted for us. But it was our first time with one of our solo gigs, if you like, actually setting up the sound and having it properly good. I've got a proper head on my cab now. Joe's now got a proper bass head on his cab, so we were able to actually get a proper nice sound. And it's now getting to the point where I can actually hear Joe's bass during gigs, which I'm sure I've probably mentioned on previous live streams. I can't ever really hear his bass, so it's surprisingly nice to be able to hear it for once. But it meant that the whole thing to me, I mean, obviously I've got my earplugs in and I'm stood by the microphone, so I can only hear so much from where I am, but it sounded complete from when we did sound check, being able to hear the bass and even the bass drum, which I mic'd up to really get a bit more out of the drums. I think set wise we were flawless. I think we might have made one or two mistakes each maybe across the whole thing, but that's nothing. Every band makes mistakes during gigs. They weren't massive and we got straight back into it.
Yeah, I mean, if any musician or band says that they never made one mistake and that they're like, it was everyone.
Absolutely.
I mean, all minor one, everyone.
Absolutely.
But yeah, it was a great night. Honestly, I love talking about it.
It was a good night. I mean, after we finished our first set, and we were only booked to do the one set. We were only planning on doing the one set. We went down, we did our set, and that was it. We started to pack some of our equipment away and stuff. And the guy sort of came down and was like, "Do you guys fancy coming back? Like, a couple of hours and do a second set?" And we were like, "Yeah, of course." Like, a lot of places, based on the type of music we do and stuff, there's a lot of places that won't take a chance on us, which is, I fully get it. Our audience is very specific, and there is a lot of places that it's just not suited to. But to be asked to do a second set was kind of, I mean, that's the first time we've had that. I mean, we've had the whole. I'm sure you've heard in the videos, we had the whole one more song at the Lumley, and the same at the Morisco. We've done a couple more songs before, but to be asked to do an entire, the same set again, they weren't even asking us to change it up. They were just like, "Can you just do that same set again in a couple of hours?" So of course, a very high well, I say high, you know, not on drugs, but we were high off the energy from the first set. We kind of just, you know, wandered down into town and had a look at what was going on down there, didn't we?
I mean, in other words, right, when they said, yeah, you know, do a second set, and it was like, yeah, you know, go to town or whatever, do what you want. We hit the town, we did. Oh, no, we did. We honestly, went to a few bars, didn't we? Got a takeaway. Blaze did karaoke.
I did hit up karaoke, that's the first time I've ever done karaoke in my life. But I don't know why. We wandered in this place that were doing karaoke just next door to where we were getting our pizza from, and I just turned around to the guys. I was like, I'm gonna go do it. I just went up and requested "Every Rose Has Its Thorn" by Poison, and out it came.
Yeah, and before you ask people, it wasn't recorded.
Luckily, there is no footage of me going to one of my local pubs and doing karaoke. It's not something you'll get very often. It doesn't happen. Like I say, that's the first time I've ever done karaoke in my life. Not really sure why I did it, but it was good fun. To be fair, I enjoyed it, and a lot of people were coming up to me afterwards saying how good it was. So I was like,
yeah, they were, and I thought it was good as well.
oh,
Not just saying that. Okay, so
it sounded okay to me, but I can also happily admit that I may have been slightly under the influence of alcohol. So that may have helped with that sense. So
we all were, don't we? Fine.
It was one of those nights. So kind of, you know, set one, into town, get a pizza, do karaoke, straight back up again, and do a second set.
Oh yeah, no, great, honestly. And then when the second set did come, there was more people there.
Yeah.
And it went down proper, like, you know, comfortable as anything. You know. I felt comfortable, I'm sure you did. And,
yeah.
Lauren did. You know, Lauren seemed very into it. So.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, really pleased. I mean, I think that second set went really well as well. I think that's actually, I hold them, personally, I hold those as possibly the best two sets we've ever done. Think about off the top of my head, I think they are. I mean, obviously it's the most recent, so I guess to date that makes sense. You know, if we start from the first and work forward, in theory sets get better every time as we move on, but that's not been the case with us. But we're a new band, so it's always going to be a bit up and down. But I hold those last two sets we've done as the best sets we've ever done, sound-wise and performance-wise. But I guess we've grown as musicians. You know, we've done a lot more practice and a lot more gigs together, so we've got a lot more chemistry. We've also got better equipment. You know, with the new amp stands that we've got, the new amp stacks. That also massively helps to get the sound to sound good, which helps us to play better. I think with everything that we're trying, we are actually making progress with how our sound is, and I was really pleased with the sound we got out of the Eagle. And just to kind of touch on what Joe was saying earlier, yes, we will be going back, because after we did our second set, they then turned around and said, when can you come back for more? Which was kind of a weird feeling for us, because, you know, there's not many places, first of all, that want us back more than once, but let alone get us to do the same set twice and want us to come back again as well. Like, you know, they want lots of us, and of course we're happy to provide that. So we are able to go back on the 2nd of August, which is a good event. I will come to that shortly and explain a bit more about that event, but that's going to be quite a good one. So I think that brings us, I would say it brings us up to date. I mean, there's still a month missing, but that's the end of the gigs. That's the last time we performed, was the 14th of June. I mean,
you know,
I feel lost. I'll be honest with you, Joe. If you look at since we started, 22nd of February, and then we had the two at the Britannia, which were both in March. Then we did the Morisco in April. And then we did the... Oh, I'm losing it.
Wasn't it Olivia? Or no, it was Morisco again, then Olivia.
Yes, we did the Lumley first, and then 2 weeks later the Britannia. I think then a week later it was the Britannia. And then a month later, so we have had a month off before, but that was only after the first couple of gigs. But then we did the Morisco, then we did Olivia's, then we did the Morisco again, then we did Lincoln, and then we did the Eagle. We've got to the point where we're really busy with gigs, and then all of a sudden we're going to have, by the time we get around to our next gig, we're going to have like 6 weeks off. It's I wonder how rusty we're going to be on stage. You know, when we go back to it, I wonder how rusty we're going to be once we get on stage. Because I was starting to get into a flow.
Yeah, I was in that zone as well. That was in the flow of it, and then since the last gig, I've been so bored what to do.
Yeah.
Like every weekend, like going on, and it's sort of like, yeah, what do I do this weekend? Oh.
Yeah, it's not the same. You know, we're used to gigging quite regularly these days. Yeah, we've started to gig a bit more regularly, and then all of a sudden now, nothing.
Yeah, I mean, it was in like a period, like every weekend we would sort of have a gig, or we'll have like a week break and then do another gig. So,
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's been. I mean, it's been nice to have a break, I guess, but then again, I sort of just like doing it as well, same as you, It's the way of living,
It's what we do. It's. I mean, it's definitely my passion. That's for sure. I mean, I find one of the best points where I'm happiest is being on stage and actually performing. I love it so much.
No.
So it's so nice we've had the opportunities that we've had at the moment. And I would say it's been nice to have a break, but to be honest, if I could gig every single week, I would. If I could gig multiple times a week, I would. I love it. So I'm not, I'm not kind of willing the time away and all, but I'm really looking forward to the next gig that we do because it's been too long. I want to get back on stage.
Oh yeah, it's definitely.
I mean, what better venue to do it at than one that we are very, very happy to be performing at? It's the Morisco for the third time.
Yeah, we're very famous there.
They love us at the Morisco. We go down so well there. I think, arguably our busiest gig, people-wise. I think it's definitely on a par with the Lumley. I think it matches the Lumley. Very much a smaller pub as well.
The Lumley was Summit. It was Summit on it. Like, with it being the first ever gig, you'd expect it to be like, sort of small crowd, or we met like one crowd, but it wasn't like that at all. Like, obviously we brought people down who we knew, but there was so many people there who would in the pub anyway.
Yeah.
And it was just like, as a first gig together, it was good. It was amazing to do. And the same with the Morisco. That the first time we did it, it weren't. You brought your family down.
Yeah.
But other than that, there was no one else in there who we actually. And everyone else show up for it, and it was like, it was proper like get in. I loved it. It was great.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. No, it was a really, really good atmosphere there. And I think, we had 50, 60 people in that pub, which I'm not sure how they even fitted in there. I was actually quite surprised the reception we got. They really packed it out for us, which was surprising to see, to be completely honest, but I was very pleased with it. Obviously, we've already been back once. We went back a couple of weeks later, and now we get to go back for the third time, which is crazy. It's very sadly the last time we will play the Morisco with Lauren, which is going to be a sad one because we've started to know the Morisco as our home. I think in Starfish Clan, the Morisco is sort of like our home venue at this point. So to do our final gig there with Lauren it's going to be a sad one. I won't lie. It's going to be a hard one to get through right at the end. I think knowing that we're not going to be doing that again with her, but I think we're going to really enjoy it, and I think I'm sure it'll go down well. I'll actually show you. I've got the official poster here. There it is. Look, I'm trying to hold it up to the camera, but my camera's back to front. So there you go. Sacred Starfish, the trilogy, free entry, 26th of July. The Morisco Inn, Sutton-on-Sea, LN12 2ND from 7 PM. Get yourselves down there if you're local to the area. We promise you a gig that you will not forget, whether that's good or bad.
Yeah, I mean, I love going to the Morisco. Every time I've been, I've had a great experience. I'm sure I'm going to have a great experience going again, but it's also in the back of my mind, like, it's sort of it's the last time we'll perform with Lauren at that venue. And then after that, it's going to be the last time ever that we perform together.
So, yeah.
Coming soon, it's nearly there.
It feels like it was only yesterday that Lauren announced her departure from the band, and that we were kind of like, okay, well, we've got a few months. We don't have to think about it yet. We appreciate that. The reasons for leaving and why you want to, and we're fully supportive, and we will let that happen as smoothly as possible. She agreed to honour our existing gig dates, which was very nice. And so we were kind of like, oh, we've got a little while. And all of a sudden, next week is our penultimate gig with her. And I'll throw out there now, as I said I was going to come to earlier, our gig at the Eagle is on the 2nd of August.
Yeah.
And sadly, I don't actually have the poster for that one. I gave the only copy to the Eagle. But that is an official. So I'm going to preface this by saying I've started up a new promotion company called Tongues of Silence Promotion, where I'm aiming to bring original live music to venues around Lincolnshire. Smaller upcoming bands and similar, to new venues, small venues, old venues, any kind. I just want to bring original music to the forefront. We get a lot of cover bands and tribute bands and all, which I know a lot of people enjoy, and that's fine. But I mean, you've got to think to have a tribute band first. The original bands have had to make their music and make their impact on the music industry for bands to be able to tribute them. So if we only able to ever have tribute bands, you'll never get any original music ever, and you'll only ever be playing the same songs from 50 years ago. So we need to push the original bands more as well. I'm not completely shutting the door on tribute bands or cover bands or anything like that. But my personal aim is to try and bring original music back to this way. So on that bombshell, my first event as Tongues of Silence Promotions is a farewell to Lauren, as it's billed, which is on the 2nd of August at the Eagle's Nest in Mablethorpe. We've been very fortunate, actually, to not only can I first announce that we are partnered with Yellow Belly Records, who are going to be doing sound for us for that gig, which I'm really excited about. I'm really glad to have those guys working with us again. And my first time, obviously, working with them as a promoter, so I'm really looking forward to that. And as well as that, we have managed to get 3 excellent bands in. So I'll run you through the night. So we start at, I think doors are at 7 PM. At 8 PM, Grantham duo Following Giants will be taken to the stage. They're a relatively new band, so really looking forward to seeing what they bring. Again, it just fits, with getting some. I mean, we're a new band ourselves, so it's really nice to help out some of the newer bands that may or not get so many gigs. It's really nice to be able to help them out. I'm looking forward to seeing what they're about. Then we go on stage, do our hour, say goodbye to Lauren, and then 2 sets after that we have. I don't know how we've got these guys in. I mean, Dire Thorns, who have just released their debut album, The Happy Man, and they're on tour for that at the moment. I think they've got 2 shows left. I think they're midway through the album tour at the moment. I'm really pleased to be able to have them come down and do a set. I'm good friends with Jake McCabe, bassist and lead singer and founding member, I believe, of Dire Thorns. Very glad to have them come down and help pay tribute to Lauren. And then once they get off stage, we have Chimp in a Box as well. So 2 really good Grimsby bands, or I'd say almost sort of legends of the Grimsby original music sort of area. So Chimp will be headlining the night and finishing off for us as we sort of, round off the event. So 4 bands, partnered with Yellow Belly Records, all for the cause of saying goodbye to Lauren. And we are charging only £3 on the door. I mean, all that for £3. I don't think you can go wrong, What else can you do?
Some places charge like 20 quid or something like that, so I think it's nothing, to be fair.
I mean, I think the way I've advertised it is, all this for only £3, you can't even buy a cup of coffee for that.
Yeah, especially in Starbucks.
I don't know if we're allowed to slate companies, but we'll go with it. Fuck Starbucks.
They like us, really.
They love us. They're going to get us to perform in their headquarters one day.
Yeah, wherever that is.
Yeah, not a clue. Like I said, fuck Starbucks. I know you can't see me, Joe, but I've just thrown the fingers up as well. But anyway, so that's going to be a great event. You know, farewell to Lauren at the Eagle's Nest. And I'll be completely honest, that one's going to be quite a sad event. That one's going to be, as well as joyous for seeing the new 3 bands and celebrating what Lauren's done with the band. It's going to be a sad one to know that we won't be performing with her again after that. You know, she's been integral to our live sound since she's joined. She's completely almost changed the way some of the songs sound live. Really put her own spin on it, which I've really enjoyed. It sounds really good, and it's going to be very different without her. So I'm looking forward to be able to send her off the right way, but I almost don't want that gig to come because it's going to be quite a sad one to say goodbye.
Yeah, same with you. It's gonna be like, towards the end of the step, we're just gonna know. It's upsetting because we've worked together for so long and we've built this project. I got so far with it already. And we all know each other's chemistry as well, so it's so easy to get on with each other in practice and whatever. And now we sort of have to work without her, which is bad, but
absolutely, yeah. It's going to be a tough one.
Time goes on, so it's yeah. But I tell you what, in the way that it's been done brilliantly, because it could be worse if she could have said like, oh, I'm leaving and I'm not doing the rest of the gigs, but she decided not to do it. She's like, I'm leaving, but I don't want to leave you guys in mud, so I'm gonna do the rest of the remaining gigs. And for setting up this event for her, it's a proper send off, I think.
Absolutely. I hope it. I hope it sends her off the right way.
Yeah.
I mean, this is not going to be the end of our collaboration with Lauren, and it's not like we're just going to, the last time we ever see her, because we remain to be great friends with her. I mean, I'd go as far as to say she's probably my best friend at this point. So, it's not like we're never going to see her again. It's just going to be sad to not be on stage with Sacred Starfish, but I will happily give a small shout out to her other projects that are currently in the works, because of course, like me, Lauren can't cope with just one band. One band is not enough. We want more. So we are also both a part of a thrash band called Evil Sin. Currently, we're in the same situation as Sacred Starfish because we don't have a drummer. So Lauren leaving us on drums, and then Evil Sin doesn't have a drummer either. So we're currently looking for 2 drummers.
Yeah, for people who don't know, Lauren can play like every instrument known to man. She doesn't just play drums; she can play guitar and bass.
Yeah, guitar, bass, and drums, and she's got quite a good scream on her as well. So we kind of swap about a little bit with instruments, and in Evil Sin rehearsals we've swapped on a fair chunk and done some stuff. But and I don't know if I'm meant to be announcing this yet. I'll happily take a bollocking from Lauren if I'm not meant to. But we are starting a glam metal band as well, which Joe is fortunate enough to be also a part of.
Yeah, that's good.
We are called Dangerous, and we will be hopefully looking to and pushing to sort of record our debut single pretty soon. We've got some nice ideas for that, and we're going to be looking at starting to play some of that stuff. Once again, I don't know if I'm actually allowed to have mentioned that yet, but here we are. I want to give the fans something to hold on to, so don't think that our collaboration with Lauren ends here. I'm still in another 2 bands with her. Joe's still in another band with her. This won't be the last you see of all 3 of us on the same stage together, that's for sure. It's just for the Sacred Starfish chapter that is closing.
Yeah, But we always still work together and stuff, and always hang out because we're all good friends, all of us. So,
Absolutely.
you know, we hold on to.
Absolutely. I actually had something in my head that I wanted to talk about, and I've just completely lost it. To be completely honest with you. So, yeah, looking at what we've got coming up, then we've kind of spoken a lot about what has happened and previous gigs and gigs that we've got coming up. So the next week is a good week for Sacred Starfish. We've got practice with Lauren, final practice with Lauren on the Monday. So hopefully we'll get some footage out from that. Record a couple of videos so we can post them on social medias and stuff as our sort of like our final practice with Lauren. And hopefully we'll start on this glam metal project at the same time. We've got quite a while in the studio on Monday, and Lauren will be on drums for that as well. So it's not like it's going to be the last time you see me on lead guitar and vocals, Joe on bass, and Lauren on drums. It's just going to be a different project, and it's going to take a while to get that one out there. But we're hopefully looking to push and start sort of practicing and rehearsing our debut single for the glam metal band Dangerous, and obviously rehearsing for Sacred Starfish and getting the final practice done, ready, and make sure it's all tight enough for the gig. And then on Saturday, obviously, we take to the Morisco, which we will once again be staying the night in Mablethorpe so we can have a good night there.
Yay.
Then obviously it's on to the Eagle, and then after that, I believe on the following Wednesday, all three of us are going away to have a proper send-off celebration for Lauren.
Let's talk about this.
I will let you do a lot of the talking about this because I don't know logistically what I am or aren't actually allowed to say. So I'm going to let you do this whole segment here.
I have the floor.
You have the floor, Joe.
Basically, there's this venue in Lancashire which I go to every year, and it's in the middle of the field, right? And the aim is we're all there, we're all mates, get pissed, DJ set, whatever, it's a whole weekend thing. It's absolutely, it's bonkers. So this year, obviously, I was like, I want to invite, friends who I know down here. So, I spoke to Blaze, and I'm like, what do you think's this? I told him the crack, and like, yeah, because he didn't really get the chance to get pissed with all of us. So he obviously like, yeah, I want to do that.
Absolutely.
And then as time went on, obviously people knew about the band up there who haven't seen us, and it sort of just got talking about, bring your band down and do a small set or something like that. I'm like, well, okay, I'll speak to whatever. So then I've gone off and spoke to some people up there, and obviously spoke to the band, and you two were up for it, even though it's not a gig, it's like a private gig. It's not going to be like streamed or anything.
Yeah, no one listening can attend. It's kind of it's more just your sort of small circle. Well, I say small circle. It's not really a small circle, is it? But it's more like your circle of friends and family that just have a nice get together, and we're kind of like, giving them a small show, and then just having a good time to really celebrate. Sort of give Lauren a big send off, and just to have a good time.
Everyone. It's not really originally. It's not like a thing. It's just a thing that's done every year. No one celebrates it. It's just a massive piss up really in the middle of a field, and it's going to be fun. So anyway, we're kind of doing a little jam session at this place, and I guarantee we're all going to be wanker. But it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. And yeah, to be honest, the whole aim of it is just, I think it's brilliant how it's timed, because the year we've done so many gigs, we've done so many practices, we've worked so hard, and I think that is the weekend just it's like a congratulations for all the hard work we've had.
Definitely, yeah. I think we deserve it after after the lot of the effort and the gigs we've done, and especially like you said, the timing of it is perfect because we're literally we've got 2 gigs these next 2 weeks, and we'll stay over the night of the Eagle. We will stay in Mablethorpe, so that goes through to that Sunday, and on that Wednesday we're off. so it couldn't work much better. The timing of that, and it wasn't planned. It's just the way it's happened, isn't it? You know.
No, of course, yeah. It's just the timing of it, you know. And obviously, I'm looking forward to it because I know what I'm going to expect.
Of course.
I'm sure you're looking forward to it. How could you be like?
Oh no, I'm looking forward to it. It sounds like it's going to be great, and of course, any chance I get to perform, you know, even if I'm just on stage jamming, I don't mind. Just the idea of performing really works for me, and being able to actually just relax for once and spend, you know, a week just away from everything and just chill, because we've been quite busy and quite stressed with a lot of things going on recently, and it's just going to be nice to just put everything behind for now, take a detox if you like, take a cleanse, and then come back stronger than ever and start getting, you know, working on the next projects and the next gigs.
Yeah, I think it's excellent. I'm sure we'll have a few videos of us. I mean, maybe post it on our own personal pages, so if you guys want to see that, then
might even post them on the band page.
Possibly.
It depends what condition we're in, but we might get some videos to the band page. You know, we're not a family friendly page. We're not a family friendly band. We do swear. I was about to say the C word. I'm going to save that for stage. I'm not going to say that on the live stream, just in case we get this taken down. But we do swear. We are offensive. That's what we're all about. If you see that we've got an album called Polished Turds, one called 666 Grams of Utter Shit, and one called Painful Number 2, and you don't think our music's going to be offensive, then I don't know what to tell you. And we as people are, I mean, I like to think we're relatively down-to-earth people, but we're not like hiding behind anything. It's just who we are.
Yeah.
So the music kind of reflects that, and yeah, it is offensive. So therefore, I don't mind having offensive stuff on our page, because I don't care. You know, we're not trying to build a nice, clean, PG, family-friendly page. That's not what Sacred Starfish is about. Sacred Starfish is just us having fun in the most raw, natural form.
Exactly, yeah. We're tough one.
So, having spoken about that nice little getaway, we should think about what's sort of beyond that for us, because we've got things in the pipeline, really, haven't we? So I think we can start to talk about this a bit.
Yeah. Well,
so I think we should go back as sort of to Monday, and start with where that's at. So. First of all, I want to, because this is a Sacred Starfish, you know, live stream and stuff, I want to focus on that and sort of rest assured, just because Lauren is leaving, Sacred Starfish is not ending. You know, we are continuing as a band. We are on the search for a drummer, but we haven't had any luck yet, and so we had a practice on Monday. We tried a new guy out on guitar. I'm going to leave him unnamed because I don't want to just suddenly name drop on this live stream. I want to do a proper big announcement for this guy. So I'm just going to say we had a guy come in on guitar for practice, and that has meant that I have shuffled around to drums, which is an interesting situation. Obviously, you know, it's frontman, lead guitarist and all, and I'm now hopping behind the kit, but luckily enough I can play enough of drums to go with, you know, the songs, and if we can get this guy on guitar to play enough of my parts, and I can, you know, sort of share vocals around, I think that's potentially the future of Sacred Starfish temporarily, just so we can keep gigging.
Yeah. Because at the end of the day, we get paid gigs and stuff, so why would we want to stop that?
Yeah, we don't want to give up, and you know, we love them. You know, just want to give a big shout out to the Marisco once again. I mean, I know if it was down to those guys, they'd get us in minimum once a month, if not more. So we've built like a little fan base down there, and we don't want to let them down. So however we can get back gigging, so we can do gigs there, we will. And if that's me on drums, that's me on drums. It's going to be an interesting one, getting everything sort of sorted for that. It's a completely new dynamic, I'll be honest. Everything sounds really different now. But my drumming style and Lauren's drumming style are very different. So I think the songs have a very different feel when we both play them, so it's kind of getting used to that, and obviously for you, Joe, you know, getting used to how the drums now sound. I mean, you've spent the last sort of 6 months or so, 6 to 8 months maybe, playing, or maybe more than that, maybe, you know, nearly 10 months playing to Lauren's drums. So you're kind of now used to exactly what her drums sound like, and now my drumming style is completely different. and so you're kind of like having to adapt to that. And obviously this new guy we've got in on guitar is having to completely sort of learn the whole thing. It's all very weird.
We did a practice on Monday, wasn't it? And yeah, it was a lot different, but we knew it was coming anyway. With like it was the first practice, wasn't it? So we were expecting it, and also with you on drums as well. It was yes, it is different to adapt to because I'm used to listening to Lauren's drums. But I think when we get it like sorted and watertight, then it'll be all right.
Yeah.
But having to adapt to that new sort of environment.
For sure. Yeah, it's an interesting one, but this is just for future gigs, really. Another gig announcement that I think we are allowed to make, as far as I'm aware. Once again, I'll take my bollocking if I'm announcing stuff that I'm not meant to, because oh well, here I am. You can't stop me once I've already said it. So, with our continued partnership with Not That Kind Of, we are playing Grimsby again, another new venture for us, which is good, at the Loft at Matrix Bar, as part of their Fuck Normal on Tour series. It's actually the opening night of that tour, and we've got Balaclava, Suburban Toys, and Tanks Turning playing, and we have been added to that bill. I know we're not on the posters yet, but we will be, I assure you. We are playing that gig, and that's going to be an even weirder dynamic, because I'm not on drums for that. We actually have someone coming in to play drums. I hope I'm allowed to announce this. Cullen from Yellow Belly Records will be playing drums for that gig, so I'll be back on lead guitar, and hopefully Mr. Guitarist number 2, Mystery Guy, will also be there. So it'll be our one and only gig as a 4-piece for quite a while. So that's going to be an even weirder dynamic. So it's going to be, we've got some interesting times coming up for the band, and there's going to be a lot of changes, but that's going to be a good gig, I think. I don't know what your thoughts are, Joe, but playing with Balaclava for me is also like a massive thing, because Balaclava are another band that I've been seeing quite a few times now, and I'm quite well known to the guys. And I love their music. I'm a big fan, and their stage presence. I was saying to Joe when we first saw them, I think stage presence wise, they're the closest band out there to what we do. So being able to play with them is
they're definitely out as a band. I look forward to playing on the same stage with them. I like them. I also do listen to their stuff as well, so it's not like, I like them just because I've seen them. I do actually listen to their tracks, but I quite enjoy it. So I'm looking forward to that, and I'm also looking forward to the 4-piece, even if it's one gig.
Absolutely.
It's fucking cool, that, isn't it?
Yeah, playing as a 4-piece is, this is basically what we've dreamed about since. Well, it's what I personally have dreamed about, and since late 2022, 3 years on, we're just about making it happen. But even just going through as recent as like the Lumley gig being a good shout. After the Lumley gig, we were kind of like, we want a rhythm guitarist in to make it a 4-piece, but it's probably not going to happen. So we're going to make it work as a 3. But playing as a 4-piece is going to be quite good to be able to have the dynamic of how the album was actually recorded, because the album's been recorded for 2 guitarists. So to actually be able to have both guitar parts played at the same time, I think it will really bring a new sound to the band. I'm looking forward to seeing how that works for us. So as a gig itself, that entire night is something I really look forward to. September 20th. I better announce that now. September 20th, get yourself down to Grimsby, Balaclava, Tanks Turning, Suburban Toys, with the Fuck Normal on tour. Not That Kind Of gig. Get yourselves there. There's your promo.
There we go.
I'm going to clip that.
The first gig without Lauren, but it has to be what it is. But I'm looking forward to that gig. I think it'll be a good one.
Absolutely. It has to happen sometime. First gig without Lauren. It's going to be weird taking to the stage without her there, for sure. But once we get that first one done, I think we'll be I mean, it's a new project at the end of the day. Like I say, we're not shunning her out. We're not completely, we haven't sacked her. She's chosen to leave due to her personal reasons, which we've got no issues with, and we're going to be another project with her anyway. So it's not the most emotional it could be. It would be worse if she was leaving and we didn't have any other projects with her. So it was literally the last time we would ever play on stage with her. But that's not the case. There's going to be plenty of opportunities where we will be on stage with her. So yeah, that'll be a weird gig to get our heads around. But once we get there, it's kind of right. This is the direction we're going now.
Yeah.
I think that's about it for Sacred Starfish at this moment in time, to be completely honest. I mean, other than the only other thing I can say is that we are starting loosely, very loosely termed, on the recording process for the next album. But that's about as much as we can provide at this point because it is very loosely. We've literally got some rough guitar demos and that's it. We've got minimal. So that's kind of as far as the third album goes right now. But this is our first time touring an album. I mean, the first album when it came out, it was only me and Chris in the band. We did a couple of shows. We did 2 shows, but it was just me and Chris, and it didn't go great. So and then Chris left, so we obviously backed off touring because it was just me. I wasn't going to do it like karaoke style as a solo act. So massively backed off. Instead, I spent all my time recording the next album. Obviously recorded Painful Number 2, managed to get Joe in on backing vocals, and finally managed to get live. Obviously, the aim is to get 1 album out a year, ideally around the February-March time. But having just dropped this EP, I'm almost counting that as next year's album. So don't expect an album from us early next year. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, I think what we're going to do is just take our time on the third album, and probably just spend a lot of time with it.
Absolutely, and it's going to be really cool for me having you in the studio for the first time. Obviously we had to introduce the backing vocals, but all the bass tracks were the originals that I laid down because we didn't have time to teach you them. Let you record them all before the album was due to come out. So
yeah,
it's going to be really cool to actually have you recording bass.
Yeah, it was sort of like I joined the band in October 2024, and it was for like doing practices and actually learning some of the songs that came to it, whereas everything was sort of already done. Because I remember when you came to the studio and it's like we just have to do a few more bits, and it was just vocals really. So, and then you were like, I want you to get on vocals because I actually said I'll do backing vocals.
Yeah.
Which I'm actually glad you did do that because it feels good to do that on the track, and it also gives me another thing to do on stage. I like.
Yeah, I like your interaction with the crowds. I think I said this at the time you first joined. I could see the vision of you on stage because you have got a lot of charisma. You are a very outgoing guy. You're very talkative, but in a good way. You know how to talk to people the right way. So it's kind of I wanted you on stage and I wanted you talking. So if I gave you some backing vocals, by the point the song's ended, you've already spoken down the microphone. So at which point it kind of gives you the confidence to speak to the crowd a bit because I know that you have all this personality and I want you to let it out.
Exactly, I say I'm a funny bloke as well. But
oh, yes.
I like interacting with the crowd. I think some people may have seen me at how I like talking to the crowd. That was funny.
Just to interrupt for 2 seconds, we have actually had a message in the live chat.
Go on.
From Chicken Nugget Gang.
Go on.
And I know exactly who that is, and they have just said gay. I'm not sure if it's a confession.
It's a confession.
I'm not sure what that is from Mr. Todd Carrier.
I fucking knew it. I knew it.
Shout out to Todd Carrier as he is on this live stream for his 2 lines on the second album.
Hey, Rich is so proud of. He wants to rinse us for it because we don't put his name in it or something like that.
Yeah, I'll be honest. He's been flinging the contracts at me because he's not earning any money.
Yeah.
Oh, all the people are flocking in now. Now Banana Pencil has joined the group chat. of group chat live stream, and has said, "Joe, you are beautiful."
Thanks. I'm flattered. Who's that?
I'm not sure who Banana Pencil is.
Oh, thanks. That's cool.
So a compliment for you, Joe. So that's nice. You know, very good.
Thanks.
I kind of lost where we were, to be completely honest with you. The confession from Todd and the compliment from Mr. Banana Pencil has thrown me off. Oh yeah, we were talking about how long you've been in the band, and you being on stage and getting you on backing vocals.
Well, yeah, that was fun. Yeah, it was fun. I did.
Oh,
God.
Todd has come back,
Fuck.
and he has said, "Shut the fuck up, I'm not a gay. No, I don't want to be freaking in anything you do. No, I've seen bagpipes play better music than you."
Where's your 2 albums? Where's your EP?
Where's your record label EP? No, he has tagged on the end.
Oh.
I will throw. He has tagged on the end. Just jokes, of course, and then said, "I'm not gay. I have women." I do believe it to be a singular, but congratulations are in order, Todd. Round of applause to Todd, who has managed to get a girlfriend for the first time in 19 years. Congratulations, very very proud of him. It's taken quite a while to get this far, but I wish you all the success in future. Whilst working at McDonald's, I'm sure you get plenty of opportunities to make that bag and go out and have fun whilst we're on stage in Lincoln and Grimsby and stuff, performing our EP that we've just released on a record label. So congratulations, Todd. No, we're just having banter. Todd's great, everything we say is just jokes. We are only joking. I feel like I have to say that now because I don't want us to get cancelled for anything. Todd's great.
Nah, oh my! This being a live stream where shots are being fired like everywhere. Like God, more than all the hate coming out.
The hate has now made its way to the live stream. This is what we love. We thrive off of hate. We perform off of hate. No, I'm joking. I'm not making a big thing. So yeah, we'll have to wait for Todd to respond. But yeah, it was the decision to put you on backing vocals. Just to go back to the conversations, the decision to put you on backing vocals was kind of a, because the album was ready. When you joined the band, the album, I needed to do a couple more vocal lines, and the album was done. And I'd already worked out with the distributors when it was coming out, and I'd already sorted everything out. And it was kind of a last minute, "Joe, can we just get you on backing vocals? Because now that you're in the band, I want you to have some form of proof that you are actually in the band. So you've actually managed to make the second album by doing so." And that was the sole reason for getting you on it, to be honest. In what, 3-4 tracks you've got backing vocals on?
I think it's 4. Well, no, that's not a lie. I think I actually.
Just to say goodbye to Todd because he is going to leave. His last 3 comments were, "I'ma sue you for sads," and then, "I'ma go bone a man. Bye." So, goodbye, Todd. We hope to see you on another Larvae live stream soon. We know you love us. We know you're obsessed with the band and you can't let us go.
He's on every live stream, I swear. He's obsessed with us guys.
Second biggest fan, I think. So, massively appreciated. Goodbye, Todd. Thank you for joining us today. So, before all the comments in the chat, where were we at? Because just before we were talking about I think we were talking about the 3rd album and how, I think that's where we got to, actually, the 3rd album, and, obviously we've started on it, but it's not going to be anytime soon. So, I kind of want to dive in a little bit to the new project. I don't know if you're happy for us to talk about this yet.
A new project, yeah, let's do it, let's get out there.
So, this is another exclusive. There's a lot of exclusives in this live stream today. So, exclusive, me and Joe, starting a project. We are moving away from the fecal themes. So we are no longer going to be making songs about fecal matters. So we came up with a band name on Monday, which I think is now official. So we are Phantom Witness, which is quite cool. And a lot of what we're going to do to start off with is a lot of the original tracks that we've got with Sacred Starfish. We're going to re-record completely, you know, I want to re-record a lot of the guitar lines. Definitely get all the bass re-recorded because I want to get Joe in on bass, and all the lyrics are going to be changed to be non-fecal. So they're all going to get re-recorded. So it's going to be a completely new track, and I do believe, I'm not sure if I'm allowed to say or not, so I'm just going to say I do believe we have someone playing drums on the album for us. Not joining the band, but doing the album recording for us. I think that's as far as I'm necessarily allowed to say, so I'm not going to go any further on that. But basically, we've got plans in the works for a serious band that is just a serious Starfish, basically, which is called Phantom Witness.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to the new project. I think it will be. I don't know. I mean, I'm sure it'll be go well anyway. I mean, Sacred Starfish has done well, so I'm sure it will do possibly better.
It's got potential for sure because the music's good. It's just the lyrics that I think gets a lot of people.
Yeah, I think I look forward to recording everything with it, and you know, it should be fun. It should be fun more than anything as well. So it'll be a good do to, and also it's something for us to do, isn't it? You know, so
absolutely. Yeah, no, I'm really looking forward to just having this second project. And I think we can go further places. I think Sacred Starfish is going to be the stepping stone for Phantom Witness, really. Because I think mainstream, that's the project that's going to obviously do a lot better. Because Sacred Starfish is obviously all fecal themed, which certain places goes down really well. You know, we have built up a nice niche following in that sense. But I think Phantom Witness could appeal to a lot more people because of the lyrical themes. And obviously, yes, I've said we're going to start by only putting out the originals with sort of re-recorded versions, but you know, we are then going to progress forward and release some more original music that is not that we've written for Sacred Starfish, and start to progress in future with that, with some new music. I'm really excited for this serious project because I think we can really put our heads together and get something good out of it. And I'm really glad to now have Joe on board, so we can actually get a proper bassist recording rather than me doing it all the time. It'll be really good to finally have a collaborative project and get out gigging.
Yeah, and it'll be different. I know, you know, before in other projects you're used to doing it by yourself, so
yeah, it's a weird dynamic for me now being in a band because obviously as we've established, the first two Sacred Starfish albums I wrote myself. All my solo stuff that I've done and put out obviously is all me, but it's never been recorded in a studio. It's never been mixed by anyone professionally. It's never had anyone play on it. It's just all been me sat in exactly in this position that I'm in right now. Doing everything myself, so it's quite nice to now actually be able to make a collaborative effort out of stuff with, I mean, all the projects that I'm part of at the moment. But it's really good to be able to have Joe in and get him on backing vocals and bass. And I'm really looking forward to getting you on an album. It's going to be quite a nice feeling for you, I imagine, actually saying you've played an instrument on an album for once.
Yeah, it'll be good. It'll be it'll be different, but it'll also be good because I also like the idea of it. Yeah, recording. We've got the whole day to, come up with different ideas and stuff like that. So I think,
yeah. We're still seeking a drummer, of course, for Phantom Witness because as good as I may be, I don't want to do drums in Phantom Witness because I want to make a proper go of this band, and I'm not. I'm not in any way the best drummer. I'm good enough to be able to make the songs that we currently got work, but I would much rather be on guitar anyway and be frontman of the band. So we are seeking a drummer for that band. That's why we've put me on drums temporarily for Sacred Starfish, because I want to prioritise getting someone in for Phantom Witness. Really, if we can get someone in who'll do both, brilliant. Especially the first few songs, they're all going to be drum wise identical, so it's not going to matter. But I would really like to prioritise getting a drummer in for Phantom Witness so we can make a go of that band as a 4-piece, because we've got Mysterious Guitar Man number 2 also in that band. So we will actually be a 4-piece as Phantom Witness when we start gigging, and I really want to push that and prioritise that as our main project going forward. So for now we're going to carry on with the Larvae live streams, and we'll carry on with Sacred Starfish. But the future of Sacred Starfish is gonna, to be completely honest, this is gonna become a side project now. It's been the main project for almost 3 years, for me personally, which is crazy, and for about a year in regards to sort of Joe and Lauren. As a live band and a forming functional band, it's been nearly a year as a main project, but now it's going to become the side project as we move towards the Phantom Witness era. So quite a transitional period for us, Joe.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to feel a bit different because we're so focused on Sacred Starfish for so long. But yeah, I think the good's going to come out in it. I think it's going to be good, and I think it will go far.
Definitely. I mean, it's a good time for us now. We've got the Morisco gig and the Eagle gig at the end of the month, or the end of this month, beginning of next month. Then we go away for a week to sort of relax, and once we come back, we're pretty much going to be starting the focus on Phantom Witness. Really, obviously we'll have a couple of practices leading up to the gig in September with Balaclava, and we'll still do small local gigs every now and then, but realistically that's towards the end of the Sacred Starfish era and the start of the Phantom Witness era. As once we come back off that week away, I think 90% of our practice is going to be focused on Phantom Witness and making that the new project. So
yeah,
I think timing wise everything works out to make that happen.
Yeah. It's going to be good.
For sure. Really looking forward to getting back in the studio after August and starting work on that. And yeah, it's going to be an interesting one. But we'll do the next Larvae live stream will be. In fact, let's get a date for that. Let's set a date for that right now.
Yeah, that'll be good.
So it's the third Wednesday of every month as we stick with. So the 6th. So it'll be the 20th of August, which is actually, I believe, a week and a day after we come back.
Am I in the US?
I believe yes. Joe is in America for this. Are you going to be able to? Are you going to be able to join us?
Probably by the pool size.
We're going to have logistic talks about this. We will work out when the next live stream is going to be. It's scheduled for the 20th of August, but don't hold us to it because our bassist's fucking off to a different country because he can't ever stay in one place. He's fucking off to Lancashire for a week, then he comes back and he isn't satisfied with that. He has to fuck off to a completely new continent. Like, Jesus Christ. You wonder why I can't get any work out of him, why I've had to record the bass on the albums myself.
He's always away partying.
Yeah, bloody, like... He's like, I would say he's Dave Mustaine, but Dave Mustaine could actually play his instrument.
Exactly, I would say I'm more of
a Lars. You're the Lars Ulrich of bass players.
But he doesn't really party a lot, does
he? He doesn't party a lot, but he can't play his instrument.
So I don't know. If James Hunt was I'd say that.
James Hunt.
You don't know who that is, do you?
Nope.
So quickly, he was a F1 driver in the 70s, and he used to get up to all the bad habits. He used to go with women, dump women, yeah, all that. And at the end of the day, he was a Formula 1 driver on the World Championship. So.
Well, that sounds like a very positive note to end on. So thank you to everyone who's joined us for a very special Larvae live stream, sort of catch up from the last 2 months really, and sort of brief foray into the future, a lot of exclusives, a lot of stuff we've talked about today. So hopefully you guys have enjoyed, and like I say, we'll hopefully be back next month at some point. Any final words you want to sign off with, Joe?
Yeah, I'll send off with thank people for tuning in today. It's been an extended live stream. We've got half an hour over the normal time. So I hope you guys have enjoyed it today, and yes, for the next Larvae live stream, let's hope that I'm in America at the poolside and be like, alright people, while there's like loads of action going off. So, and yeah, I'm going to Vegas, so you know, there's going to be a lot of action on that live stream if it happens. But I'll try my best to make it happen. And yeah, we'll see you on the next one, guys.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Joe, and thank you to all the fans. Thank you for everyone who continues to support us. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe, follow us on all our socials, blah blah blah, all that boring stuff. And we hope to see you at one of our last 2 gigs with Lauren. And that's it from us. Signing off. Sacred Starfish. Goodbye.
See you guys.